I have never taken beta blockers, actually.
I'll ask the question to you again. Have you ever taken beta blockers?
No.
So beta blockers are really interesting because they've been around for a long time, and what they do is very simple.
Yeah.
They do not treat anxiety or the psychological presence of anxiousness.
Right.
They treat the physical manifestation of nervousness and anxiety. So if you are a person who like gets starts to hyperventilate, it helps you with that. And so I was prescribed them, and when I have anxiety, there are like some physical, of course, like anyone, but I don't have like the tightening of the chest, the sweaty palms, the fidgeting, the twitching. You know, some people come like their shoulders like twitch, or they literally start to shake. I don't have that. So it's a really interesting thing because it still treats that anyway, even if you don't have that. It kind of lowers your physical
reaction
presence. It does make you feel more relaxed, even if you don't have those typical symptoms. It's really fat.
Who usually takes beta blockers? Everyone? Athletes? Performers?
People who shake when they when they do public speaking, people who get violently nervous, who makes them nauseated. It treats like the physical thing, not like all of it.
Wow. And why were you taking it?
I was taking it because years ago I was being treated by a new psychiatrist for like just everything. I was going for like ADD, and then I was being treated like they were trying to like find. This is when I was taking like medication for depression, and they were trying to find the right mixture, and with one of the cocktails, my anxiety went up. Like I think I was taking Wellbutrin, which can make you more anxious. Yeah, it was definitely that. And so then they give you beta blockers in conjunction with it.
Wow.
You are an Upper East Side charity having
swan.
A mademoiselle.
Yeah.
You are giving, she's like, give me my beta blockers with a dirty martini and everybody rise.
I know. I've been on a little bit of a rabbit hole of like Zofran TikTok.
Oh.
You know what Zofran is?
I did.
Zofran is a medication that is anti-nausea.
Oh.
Yes, a drug. It's a drug. It's a drug. Same thing. It's a
Do
drug.
People just get nauseous randomly?
No, like it's given to people who have, when you get really sick, when you get food poisoning, they'll give you Zofran. Or if you're chemotherapy, they'll give you Zofran. If you are on, I don't think they can give it to pregnant women, but if you like for morning sickness, they would give that to you. Or if you have like before your period.
Does it do something that warrants TikTok having a full discussion about?
No, just the girlies are addicted to it. The actual biological women they love Zofran because they do get nauseated when it comes to their their menstrual cycle.
Thread.
Okay.
So it's people trying to find it. Yeah, so people trying to find it if their pharmacy doesn't have it, or where are they going to get it, or what are they going to do? And they're like, I get so nervous, I can't travel without it. Like it's my seasickness. Like I'm going to be abroad and I don't have my medication and I need Zofran, otherwise I don't really feel well. It is a physical. They're treating a physical thing. It's not a. Well, I mean, nausea can be psychosomatic, I guess, too. But it is connected to like a very physical problem because it's usually with menstruation, etc. So there's like that. Right. But that's also true with ADD medication. Like there's a national shortage. So there's all these people looking into it and talking about it online. Like I can't get my ADD medication. Where are you getting it? Where am I getting it?
Right. Oh yeah, the ADD shortage. I definitely like the what is it? Not Ritalin. The other one.
Oh yeah, Adderall.
Adderall's the big one. Yeah, Ritalin you can get, but that's the whole thing because Zofran is not like it's not a class 1 medication. It's not like Oxy and shit. It's not. It's just like a medication that helps you with nausea.
Right.
So anyway,
I call what's it? Not the Ritalin. What did we just say? Adderall. I call Adderall zippity doo dah. Because when you take it, it's zippity doo dah.
What a wonderful day! Plenty of sunshine coming my way.
This episode, we're very Lady Gaga in our pharmaceutical talk.
We are. Right. We got our ads.
What's the medication that she promotes?
Is it the one for her like pain all over? The pain all over her body thing?
Fibromyalgia.
Please welcome to the stage.
Fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Juan, not to be that
It's
person.
Nurtec ODT is what the medication is. Yes.
Yes, Nurtec ODT. Can you the lampshade to the back of you is tilted. Can you just straighten it out for me? It's that black one is tilted a little up and to the left. Yes, audience, I am making Juan get up and move it because like Chloe Card it's better. There's a tilt to it, but it's fine. It's better. Actually it is better.
That's a great question. If you were a Kardashian, which Kardashian do you think you are? I know who I think you guys are, but I want to hear.
No, I want you to tell us who you think you are. Tell me who you think I am. Please.
I think Juan is Kris Jenner. Boots. The house down. Definitely Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner is always she's a hypochondriac. She's always there's an ailment happening.
Yes.
She is like that the meme of Kris Jenner with the glasses here. And she's like looking at her phone.
Oh, yes.
That's what I picture you.
She's like this, look at the screen. Yes. I love it. And when she closes the laptop, that is just such a meme moment.
Oh my God. I have to find that.
Ian is to me is Kendall Jenner. Like this.
Oh my God.
Kendall. He just, because I feel so
work
because
that's not what I feel.
Say. What do you think I was going to say?
I think maybe Chloe.
No, I don't think so. Chloe don't like to leave the house, so that's definitely not you.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
I say Kendall because Kendall's very like she's just protective of her own life. You know what I mean? You can tell that she's like there's certain things she wants to talk about on the Kardashians, but she's got such a rich life. Like there's some mystery behind Kendall Jenner to me. Whenever I watch, I'm like, yes, I know you collect horses. I know you have anxiety, but there's more. There's a reason Bad Bunny stuck around, honey.
I can kind of agree with that. The only difference is, obviously I have anxiety, but instead of collecting horses, I collect men. Who are usually in couples. Anyway.
Is the stable empty?
Exactly.
Can I park my horse here?
Okay, so that's really interesting that you would say Kendall for him because that's very perceptive. The privacy versus public. Yeah, that's a really nuanced.
Great jaw structure, great bones,
good walks.
And I will say, Kris Jenner is my favorite Kardashian. I always try and because when you watch Sex and the City, like every season you have a new favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about Kris Jenner that is she just is who she is. Like,
yeah.
You've got to love her. You've got to love her. And like one of my favorite TV moments of all time, it'll be like, I Love Lucy, Vita Vita Vegemin, Mary Tyler Moore, throwing the cap in the air, the final scene of MASH, the helicopter flying over, the final episode of ER, the first episode of Grey's Anatomy. These are like these important, perfect TV moments.
Yeah.
And one of them is Kris Jenner on the reunion of like the new
revamp.
Kardashian series. Yeah, when they're doing the reunion. And she makes a toast and she goes, I just want to give a toast to my family. I love you all so much. And there's nobody else I'd rather do this with. There's nobody else I'd rather do this journey with. And she takes a sip. And it's just like the best TV moment. The sincerity.
She's so sincere.
And you get the sense that like it is, she's talking about the show.
Right.
Yes, she is talking about the show, but she's also talking about a very genuine like being their mom. It's both. And that's what I love about Kris Jenner is that she stands on business and she very much is aware. She understands the role she plays in Kardashians Inc. But she's also the mom. A lot of, people can't do that. Just ask the Jacksons. A lot of parents were not able to really do that.
Joseph.
Oh, I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you.
Wait. Yes, exactly.
That's where I feel like Kiki and I are very connected because when I didn't know that she did that impression. And I remember now it's been a while and I saw that clip where she's like, I do it. And I thought I was like the only kid who ever grew up watching Jackson 5 and American Dream. And I loved that movie. And I didn't know who everybody was in it, but I just remembered it was so well done. And did you guys grow up watching Jackson 5 and American Dream?
I watched it. I just didn't watch it more than once. I don't
Got
Yeah.
it. Got it.
It wasn't on rotation, but I definitely did.
You know why?
Everyone
My
else
thing-
watched Disney Channel, and she watched How to Be a Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. That was
Word.
also because in the nursery, there's a room we had in the UK where like this was before Disney and all that was available to us, and my dad had all of these movies recorded because nothing was digital yet. So a lot of the movies that were in rotation that are a part of my essence, folklore, if you will, are because they were the only ones you could kind of like rewatch. And so it was whatever was recorded by Papa, and one of those was that. And speaking of, by the way, I just saw some incredible news, but one of my the movie that is of me, that is literally a part of me, Practical Magic, is coming back with a fucking sequel with Sandra. It is starring Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. And for anyone who doesn't know, Practical Magic #1 came out in 1997. And it's just one of my favorite movies ever made. Aidan Quinn is in it. Stockard Channing, Diane Weiss, also Evan Rachel Wood at a young age of 11 years old. It's a jam-packed film, and I am just so elated with the news because I hope it's good, and I'm just so happy that they're both doing it again. And there's a clip, I should find it and send it to you, where they see each other on the red carpet. This is like in the last, 10 years. And Nicole and Sandra like hadn't seen each other in a while or something. And it's a very, very sincere happenstance gathering. And Sandra comes up and Nicole's like, oh my God, my kids were watching, I can't even do the Aussie accent, but she was like, my kids were watching Practical Magic. And Sandra's like, yeah. She's like, yeah. And she goes, I love that movie. I really love what we made. Like Nicole's genuine like surprise at this film she like forgot about making.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of my favorite moments ever. And so they're in talks to bring that back. They're like working that out. Isn't that amazing?
Very, very exciting. I didn't know that.
Oh my God.
Wow.
It just, yeah. It and what's it called? IndieWire just posted, their this is what we know on it. So they're working out their deal, and they would both be producers on it. And I think Akiva Goldsman would do the screenplay again, which would be great. So
I feel like you need to work on this project. You really are,
I know about it. I know. Because I just love the movie so much. And
let's put that out into the world.
Yeah.
For
and
real.
Alan Silvestri did the score, who's done many, many scores for many movies we love. Anyway, it would be really cool for it to be done well, and I'd be so excited to see them continue. And the girls not really look that different. It's just a couple years have gone by, not 25 or 30. You know what I mean? With
Very
Cher's
exciting.
pioneering efforts helping that.
Yeah, truly. Well, Nicole does look very, very correct. It's amazing.
crazy.
This last press. What is her last press little jaunt that she's done? It was.
Well, it was AFI. She got her Lifetime Achievement in the gold dress. And so that was all
And
over
now
for a while.
She's been doing the round tables.
That's
too.
right. This is the round tables. It was for AFI. That was what she was ready for her AFI moment. But wait, I didn't tell Johnny his Kardashian.
Oh yes. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
So here's my thought on your Kardashian is that you are mostly a Kim, mostly, but you have some Kylie too.
Oh,
Ooh.
not who I thought you were gonna say.
Who did you think you were say? Kourtney?
Kourtney.
Really? Because she don't leave the house? No.
No, because she just if she doesn't want to do something, she just doesn't want to do it.
Oh, that's true. See, but you're really good at picking out an attribute from one of them and kind of like pinning that.
But
on
I
the
would
person.
say
I'm going for a more
if you had
general
fucking
vibe.
business
Yeah,
that you cared about, maybe I would say something.
You're more ambitious than Kourtney. You have Kim's
Can't
drive.
Stop.
Yeah, like you look at your early career, and there's some Kim coded moments there.
Yeah.
Candy coated nights. There's some Kim. Sorry, that was totally random, and I'm sorry. There is some Kim Kardashian there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was sucking dick, and you were up Julisa's ass. But both ways, it's similar.
Oh,
Yeah.
someone stopped me at I think one of the High Tops or something.
Yes.
Yesterday I went out and someone stopped and said they love the podcast. So I just
Oh
thought
my
I'd share
God.
that.
Wait, that happened to Juan. Were you going to say it?
No,
Go.
you say it.
No. I speak too much.
After we saw Ben Platt's show,
Yeah.
a very nice little baby milker came up to us and said how much it was really sweet. He came up and the first thing he was like, I love the show. I love the podcast. Please, it was very, very genuine. I could really feel the love. So it's really nice when people mention, and as Ian said, then it's like, it's nice when people compliment the podcast over all things.
Yeah.
It's very, very sweet.
It's better than when they're like, oh my God, Chris, it's so nice to, oh God, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's better than that moment. No.
They don't do that, do they?
Exactly. Have you ever been called Chris? No.
It happened like, I think I can count like maybe once or twice where someone was like, they said it and I didn't correct them because it was like, I don't know, I was like moving around and they mean well and it's not their fault. And
it was their Make-A-Wish that day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the other one.
Yeah. I actually think that's exactly what I said because I'm like, I'm not going to give you my name, but I literally was like, no, I'm the other one. Oh my God. Yeah. I think like, I actually also think, Johnny, you have a little bit of Chris in you. So that's the whole thing is you have a hushed ambition, like I think what Juan sees in the Kimness, but there's a tia-ness to you that makes you like Chris.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
So a Kim sun with a Chris moon.
A Chris moon. For
and
sure.
a Courtney rising. But I wanted Chloe in my chart.
Oh my God.
Everyone wants Chloe.
You see, here's the thing. Chloe is every woman. She's supposed to be all of us. She is the most down to earth. Everyone is supposed to see themselves in Chloe. And that's why she wins the People's Choice Awards for like most popular reality TV star. She's won it so many times. Yeah. And think of all the reality TV stars there are.
Yeah.
And she always doesn't always bring it home. There are the winners, but
she is a breakout for sure.
She is breakout. She is beloved and people care about her and they're interested in her life in a different way than they are in the other Kardashians. People are invested in her well-being.
Right.
In her well-being.
Yeah. They do want her to do well. Wait, why did you say Kylie?
Oh, here's why I said Kylie. I said Kylie because there's like a coyness and a playfulness in the way that you are with men that feels very Kylie. Like, do you know when you see Kylie with Timothée? Do you say Timothy or Timothée? I can't even remember.
I say Timothy.
I say Timothy, but let's just say Timothée here because I like Timothée.
Timothée? Okay,
Yeah.
Timothée. When you see Kylie with Timothée, there's a little bit of just this like, meow. She's very, very pussy. She's so pussy. Do you know what I mean? And you've got that.
I've got pussy.
Which is why you play a lot of the characters you play are sex driven.
Oh, work. I love that.
True.
Yeah.
Do you know, this is totally random, but earlier when I was saying nausea versus nauseated, do you know the difference do you know how people say that people misuse nauseous all the time? Did you know that?
Tell me because I'm going to want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the difference. People say, I'm feeling nauseous, but you are not feeling nauseous. You are nauseated.
Oh.
Nauseous is something that causes nausea or nausea. Yes. So
I'm experiencing nausea or no?
Yeah, I'm experiencing nausea. I am nauseated.
Okay.
Or or you can say this room is nauseating. You can also say that. Or you can say
this room is nauseating.
This was a nauseous experience.
Ian on Fire Island this weekend.
Yes, pregnancy. Wait a minute now.
Chapter
Pregnancy
2
has been a very nauseous experience.
Wait, so what? Sorry, tell me what not to say.
You don't say I am nauseous.
Right.
I'm nauseated. Because if I am nauseous, that means that you give people nausea. You are nausea-inducing.
I see.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Oh my God, ¿por qué no los dos?
Yes. So it's a really interesting thing, but that's one of those things that is just everybody uses that. Even really, really smart people do that. The only reason I know that is because I have a thing in grad school when I had to write it in an article and I learned it that way. And then that was it.
Where did it pop up for you right now?
Education.
Because I was talking about Zofran. Remember nausea versus...
Oh, yes. And it popped up.
And it popped up. Should we just say hello, everybody, and then we'll just keep going? Hello, everybody. You've been listening now for quite a while.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Welcome back to Tres Leches.
That was nice. I liked doing it like that. It feels kind of like you're just joining in. You know what I mean? From beta blockers to Zofran to nausea. I love that.
A little bit of all. Hope you're all doing well. I mean, I feel like this has been you can feel the goodness in the air because like summer is like now really here. Do you guys experience the same thing? Do you feel like your true self during this time of year?
Yes.
I do. I feel even anytime the sun is out. Philip pointed out the other day that I am different when the sun is out. And I was like, say more. And he's like, you're just in a better mood. I was like, oh, I never realized I'm just a happier person when the sun's out. But yeah, I think summer is such a joyous time. And I feel like people are just in better spirits in general.
Yeah.
In the summer.
Yeah. This
is something that I think as Floridians, as Miami Floridians, or people who spent a lot of time in South Florida, that we underestimated before moving to New York. I didn't understand the toll of the seasons growing up. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like this ecstatic need to be outside as soon as it gets warm enough or the day is nice enough as it is here. Because in Miami, it's nice most of the year.
Yeah.
Tranquilo y tropical.
Tranquilo y tropical. Tranquilo y tropical. We just have bad days. We have hurricanes, but we have bad days. There are some times that the weather is bad, but overall it's very, very good. But now that I've lived in New York enough, I really feel connected to the seasons.
Yeah. But yes.
No, I'm just saying, like, when I was growing up and, you read, like, poems, like Emily Dickinson and shit like that, and you read poems and they talk about the changing of the leaves and this and that, I just never got it. And now I get it.
Yeah.
Now I get that, like, what they're talking about in Uncle Vanya, like, another winter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
We will make it through, Vanya. Now, it's different. Here, we are gonna make it through because summer is here.
We are gonna make it through. Say those affirmations, baby. See them. I would like to skip one. I think we talked about this, but how I'm understanding more now the thing that people have always been saying. We're like, ugh, I just can't with the winter, and I'd always kind of roll my eyes. I'd be like, guys, I was like, it's part of being here. It's just the weather doesn't affect me that much. Like, just get the fuck outside and go keep doing the thing. But I would say in the last year or two, especially coming back from LA, like we said, like the darkness, like the sun is really a game changer. And now I understand why people become snowbirds, like why they do and I go to Florida and you're there and I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I want to be there too.
Yeah, you're right.
It's insane. It also,
and you can be.
You can. The only the thing with like having a work from home social media kind of life is like I just what, Juani?
Ooh, that tickled her. That tickled her pink.
The language of that was just so funny. Just the delivery. I'm sorry. Just like it was like the perfect cadence. It was like my favorite. The video where the two are sitting in the car and the guy's like, she's like getting ready for school and the guy's sitting in the passenger seat and he's looking at the camera and he's like, a lot of you been asking for my morning routine.
Oh, and and she died.
She dies. And she's like, she's just choking. Anyway, sorry. Excuse me.
It's okay.
As you work from home and live from home and do social media.
Do the social media thing. It's so hard because I'm like, I just want to be outside. The whole, like literally it's sunny out and all I want to do is just like be outside regardless of what.
Well, you've definitely been giving into that.
I did. Oh my God, yes.
How was your weekend? For those last week we talked about Fire Island and now we're talking about it again. We went back.
We are.
I got a mew. My double chin is double chinning. Sorry.
Oh, get out of here.
Actually, speaking of, your haircut looks really good. You're looking really fresh. Yes. Actually, both of you are looking really fresh. Johnny, before we go into delve into the chasm that is Fire Island Chapter 2, tell us about your new chin. Yes.
People are gonna think he had something done.
No, I mean, I've always had this. This is what do they call when you like are born with something and it's a defect? This is a defect that, as society will have it, has turned into something that people want.
Wait, what is the defect?
Everything. Blue eyes are a defect. A butt chin is a
Oh.
defect. Like these are
Oh.
technically defects.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't realize
Yeah.
Blue eyes are a defect?
Yes.
Supposed
Light
to be
eyes are a
brown?
defect. Yes. Yes. That's why
Interesting. You mean
most
like
people's eyes are
clinically,
brown.
like
Yeah.
in a book somewhere,
Scientifically.
And
yeah,
that's
correct.
also why people with light eyes have more problems with their eyes because they, they're it's true.
I believe you. I believe you.
I
I'm just
wish
waiting for the.
if
Yeah,
I wish I were like Juan who had a little more study aside so
the
I could like read,
citations.
but that's just I thought that was common knowledge.
You know what I do? I always say,
I'm looking this up.
She's
they
looking it
said,
up.
as they say, or yeah, they say that, and then it's people are
Will
just like, oh
always used
yeah,
to
the
call me
they.
out. I'm like, well, people say, he's like, who says that? I'm like, people say it. TikTok.
So it's called, first of all, I've always called it a butt chin because I've never known better, but it's called a cleft chin.
Cleft chin, yes.
A cleft chin. And you are more okay. So if other people in your family have a cleft chin, you are also more likely to have one as well.
Correct.
The signature dimple of cleft chins forms before birth. This happens when the two sides of the lower jaw don't completely fuse together during fetal development.
Wow.
Defect.
It's a birth defect.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
But literally only the hottest motherfuckers have it. Do you know that?
I'm trying to think of famous people that have
Ricky
butt
Martin.
chins. My
Wow.
king. Oh,
Ricky Martin has an
love him so
epic
much.
one.
Yeah.
And now I
John
would
Travolta
say-
has one.
Ooh, you're right. He does.
John Travolta.
And now
Ricky
people pay
Martin's
for
one
it.
you can see through his beard, and John Travolta's is even more pronounced than Ricky Martin's.
Yeah. I love the way you say Martin.
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 I'm really bad with that in English, like T's and D's. I'm terrible. Like I say Manhattan, and it's terrible. Manhattan.
I don't change.
Manhattan. Who says Manhattan? You know what the problem is? If I do it, it sounds over. I can't half do it. I can either do like Manhattan wrong, or like Manhattan. I can't say like Manhattan. Oh, that was pretty natural.
Manhattan.
Maybe I can do it. I can do anything.
Manhattan.
Manhattan.
You know who also has them? It's when I gave you these two, you're gonna be like, wow. Ashton Kutcher and Henry Cavill.
Oh wow!
I know.
Henry Cavill has a fucking nice butt chin.
Yeah,
big
he does.
Bitches.
Big bitches.
I can see why the jaw didn't make it to the middle.
Oh my God!
It started out to here.
Jude Law as well, by the way.
Oh,
any women?
Sandra Bullock.
Oh, Sandra Bullock. That's why people say I look like Sandra Bullock in drag.
What? Oh my God! You should be Sandra Bullock from Practical Magic. I should be. Nicole would be such a stretch, but maybe I can be the aunt. I can be me and Juan can be the aunts. Stalker Channing. You could be
Diane Weiss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, that's an actress right there.
That would be really good.
Oh, or we could do the birdcage.
Oh my God. That would be
because there's three big ones. There's the Hank Azaria character.
Yep.
There's
Nathan Lane.
Yes, Nathan
and
Lane
Robin.
and yes.
Oh, let's cast each other, baby. I love this. One of my favorite games is being like, you're this.
Mm-hmm. You're definitely Agador.
I'm Agador Spartacus.
I think so.
I think so too.
You are. You have the posture for it.
And the legs.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. That would be very cute. Yeah. I have to. I'm sorry. I'm taking it. I have to take
Nathan Lane.
I have to.
Yeah. You're definitely Johnny is Robin.
Yeah. I love in the scene when in the birdcage what is Nathan Lane's character's name?
Kieran Tablet. Oh, oh my God. Albert.
Albert
fat
at the beginning.
And she's like, I made you fat?
I love when she goes to the bakery that's like on her block. She's running her morning errands in that morning She's Schneckenbecken.
It's so
getting a little sample.
What are you doing? What are these Pirin tablets? Is the aspirin with the A and the S is stacked up? Oh, you're
so
brilliant.
funny.
I know. So good.
Yes. But yes, no, Johnny, you do have a beautiful. Your butt chin is definitely sits at the table with all the best ones in Hollywood. And now with this, now that you've been shorn,
what does shorn mean?
He just doesn't have a beard anymore.
Oh, shorn.
Yeah. I wonder why he short down. I think I know why.
It was getting in the way.
Razor burn.
It's never getting in the way.
Work.
Work. All right. Well,
Ooh, she get. You know what's so funny is Johnny's usually, not sometimes, not always, sometimes, usually always the one who's like, yeah, you gotta this and the hot take that and blah,
yeah.
blah. But then all of a sudden there are these moments where he's demure. Like right now, there's a sort of like, like you're a little, you're acting coy around sex right now, or like innuendo, outuendo.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, of course. It's
This must be love because I
feel so gay.
Yes,
Or feel so well, or something like that.
Both.
It does feel nice. Yeah. Yeah.
But wait, so
yeah.
Ian, back to you. I saw you change the topic mightily fast. How was your second weekend in Fire Island? You had a good one?
Kendall Jenner.
Wow. I had a really good time on Fire Island. It was a last minute. I was just gonna go for a quick. At least let me get to the punchline before you laugh. I was gonna do a day trip. I thought I laughed. What? I was gonna do a day trip on Friday because I had to get back for Cody and Quentin's birthday on Saturday, and sadly that didn't happen because I decided to. I ended up staying because it was such a beautiful weekend, and I promised Cody I would take him out to dinner. I mean, Cody and Quentin, like we would do a dinner and something, the next week. But it was really fun, and I was actually talking about this and pontificating on it yesterday. That what I love about going is you can have those weekends where you're either like a feral mongrel or a weekend which I just had, which is like, I met like an older generation of gays and having great conversation with people who can really talk to you about something. And
they're 45.
No, I'm talking about like Ron. I think it's Ron Dreskin, and I forget his partner's name, but they were so amazing. And I was just talking to one for literally like 45 minutes to an hour about like their life, and and that was really a nice thing. It was at Brian and Jake's. They hosted a little like Todd Snyder event party thing, and it was very lovely. And I, just
lovely.
and I had a good
little fashion and conversation. How nice.
Yes, exactly. And it was fun was had by all. It was lovely, and I felt very taken care of by
so merry.
The island and
by the island. This is so funny.
The island will provide.
Exactly. And
but you had a nice time. You got along with people. Fighting.
Juan trying to. What is it when you're like leading the witness right now? Oh my God!
You got along with people.
No fighting.
Yeah, there was. Yes, I felt very special.
This sounds like a conversation between a mother and a gay son when the mom doesn't want to know the details, but just wants to know how the weekend went.
And the son's not very good at saying beautiful gowns, great weather. The boardwalk was really sturdy. No, it was really great, and we made great dinners. We cooked on Friday and Saturday, and like that's usually my favorite time is the in between some of the big partying that can happen. It's the cooking at home, it's the talking and like getting to know some of your housemates, and the in betweens, like that quiet time, you know what I mean? And we're like drinking a glass of wine and having like that Diane Keaton fantasy while you're in the kitchen. Those were really fun moments, and I felt very inspired. I saw a lot of, I know we say this a lot, but they're everywhere. And I just saw a lot of couples that I was like, I love the way they share love with each other. And so rather than, or separate and different from weekend one, where I was like, meh, about it, I actually saw versions that I would like to emulate and felt kind of like inspiring. I really did feel that. So that was nice.
That's very nice.
Yeah. I always meet really cool people. To answer your question, by the way, about the summer thing, summer happens and all of a sudden and I don't know about you guys, but I feel this push and pull with like having to do work and, all the stuff that you have to get to do. And then also feeling sometimes bad about the time I take to go enjoy being on the island. And because it is so easily, it's so you can get there and I can do my work from anywhere, fine. But also just giving yourself that time. It's like, well, I couldn't do this before, and grappling with like feeling guilty, enjoying it as much or whatever.
Yeah.
But I walk away very very fulfilled and nourished. Yeah, I meet some people who truly have become a part of my life, and they've literally been the people I've met there. Rob and Dan, who you both met, who we had dinner with, and like Colin. Like there are these memories that are made there that make them very special. And so I know Fire Island can be a place where you go and like you can let loose and be wild, but it's also a place to cultivate rich memories with people I really love and new people who now become a part of my tapestry, my life tapestry,
Yeah, that's what I'll say about the summer is, whether you have a Fire Island or you're in Pensacola in Florida or you're in Palm Springs, and there's just different havens, obviously. And I feel like summer, even for straight people, is the time where people brew new friendships. They foster the ones that already exist. There's like Fire Island specifically is like a decompression kind of place. Like New York is very pressure cooker. Like everything is hot, 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 heavy, heavy, heavy. And then you go out there and there's like this, it's like a scarf in the wind kind of thing. Like I feel like it is just, people are just much more willing to chat. People that you wouldn't really talk to at parties because you just don't have the time, do you? And then in Fire Island, all you have is time to, to cook and eat and get to know people. And you really
it's like
do
you're on a
build.
Cruise.
Correct.
Yes, exactly.
Cruising for the gays.
Yeah, you're all in one place, and but you are right about connecting with new people. I think there is this idea that, and I think I've even said this aloud before. It's just like a cliche take that people have where they're like, I don't need any new friends. I have a lot of friends. Like I have dear friends. I don't really need any new friends. I have great friends. But the whole point of being on Earth, I really, really believe like our purpose to be on Earth is to connect with other humans and to connect with animals. I really believe that. Like to meet as many people and to like get to know as many animals as possible.
And they're
like,
the same.
Build relationships. Really. They are the same. You know what I mean? Like I was really put on Earth. Honestly, I was put on Earth to like have funny conversations, look cute, and meet dogs throughout my life. Dogs are just a part of my story. They're just like I have to have them,
Absolutely.
right? And so, but it's not just dogs. Like whenever I go to anywhere, you just want to be open to meeting new people, new places, new things, and the people that as you get. Maybe that's that take is kind of something you hear a lot in people in their early 30s. When they've gone through their 20s, they have their friend groups, but you realize that in order to really keep the thing fresh and to keep it going, you have to be, you don't have to be, you're right, but it is fun. It can be fun to really just continue to drop in with people, like connect, meet people at a party, talk to them, ask them questions, get to know them, learn something about yourself through them.
Correct. Exactly.
And these places are really fun to do that, like
and there is
this
still
time of year.
Exactly. Everyone's really feeling the spring fever meets that summer breeze. And listen, there's still the people who are kind of standoffish or I called it holding. They're holding on to themselves. You can feel it kind of energetically. And
that's such a nice way to put it.
I'm just like, I can tell you're holding on to you.
Nice.
And I said this, I think like that's why whenever we go out to in a gay space in these havens, and I feel from people who are really enjoying themselves and they kind of like let themselves dance, like that's when all of a sudden you're like, oh, like there you are, like there's a little bit of you that I see that maybe we don't let on to maybe as much when we're in the city. And I met some really great people who invite me to let go of myself a little, because I do a bit of my own holding in that way.
That's and then they hold you both figuratively.
Did you get held?
I was held.
And I meant that really,
or did you fall?
Truly, genuinely. They do. People hold space for you so that you don't have to hold so much of yourself in.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, of course, people will hold you, but like, I mean, these it just gives you the permission to be all of the beautiful parts of who you are.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's kind of like a through line of this podcast, is that we're always talking about like, go back to the places that make you feel good, go back to the people that make you feel good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
And I think that's also getting older, is that in your 20s, you know, in high school and in school, you're kind of just forced to be with people that you might not like. So in your 20s, you kind of, and in college and in your 20s, you kind of are just repeating that, because you're like, well, I'm used to being around people that I don't really like that much. But then as you age, you're like, I don't actually have to be around any of these bitches, whether it's family or friends. Like, I'm not going to that part. Who's at the party? I don't want to be there if this person.
Who's
this person,
all
this,
going?
Yeah, exactly.
A classic Ian Paget question. Who's all going?
Yeah.
I'll tell you who's all going.
No, what are you doing Friday? Not sure why. She's screening. She's screening. Yeah.
Listen, I know that I hold and protect onto my energy. I want to be able to give you the most direct declarative answer.
Yes.
And so if there's something brewing with you, but here's the thing, by the way, with people who do that, don't fish for my answer.
I think that's kind of rude.
Yeah.
What?
Tell me what it is you're doing and be like, would you like to join? Like, give me all the information.
Well, the reason I think is because the person is basically saying, do you want to hang out with me despite what we might be doing? And if it's only based on what we might be doing, then that's fucked up. I think that's how people take it. I don't think that that's, you know, but it's that, it reminds me of Will and Grace, where they're just like, oh, better people. Like,
but here's the thing though.
Better plans, you know?
I'm not going to lie. I don't know how this will make me sound, but if it makes me sound like fill in the blank, then I guess that's me. But if someone said to me, hey, do you want to hang out with me? But if it is dependent on this, then like, I don't know how I feel about that. Well, no, it is dependent on like how we're going to hang out, because what if I want to hang out with you in more of a private way? What if to me right now, I can't really handle being around other gay, like whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
People who insist on doing that, people who insist on asking your availability by just generically asking if you are available instead of telling you, hey, are you free this Friday? I have 2 tickets to go see.
Oh, see, I like to stretch it out, because if it's something good, I'll be like, what are you doing Friday? Like, it's, to me, I like to, like, you know, edge the gift. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so you should be voice memoing then.
But that's one thing for a date.
That's
one thing for someone who you're dating. I'm talking like among friends. When people
I've done it. I do it with friends. Like if I've invited Ian to an event that I think he'll like, I'm like, are you free Friday at 8:00? He'll be like, why? And I'm like, well, is invited to this thing, and he's like, "Ooh, I love that!" Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but that's when it's an obvious yes.
No, but but here's, you know, why I'm laughing. Go. Sorry, the reason I'm laughing is because that's I love that. That's Johnny's take on it. He's like, I'm like, what are you doing Friday? This is what Ian hears. What are you doing Friday? I don't know why. Like, I see it as like I'm like, that is just so, it's giving Sharon Tina. It's giving, like, he's giving me Tina.
I'm on
like,
my side of the phone, like, and she's like,
correct.
Ay, Dios mío, can she just ask what it is she needs to ask?
Because I can't feel it. I just can't feel it. That's why I'm saying, with me, it's helpful to voice memo. I'm just saying, for future, if you're someone who's going to be in my life and you're listening to this, that's helpful with me. Go
But
on.
I just think that if it's an obvious yes. What are you doing Friday? I have something for you you're going to do. We're going to go to Barbara Streisand's house, and she's going to give us each Rolexes. That's an obvious yes. Everyone's going to go to that. But don't be like, what are you doing Friday? Yeah, I'm free. Well, I need to help you. I need you to help me move. And my mom is getting a colonic, and I need you to eat the shit out of her ass before she goes in. No, if it's going to be something that I want, you know, that's coercive, because
but I also feel like it's up to the person to just be like, no, I don't want to do that. I feel like people need to get the answer up front in order to be able to respond in the way they want to respond. Like, because listen, I'm just saying gays are very choosy about their plans. I'm not saying the gays in this chat, even though, you know, we are. But if someone goes, would you want to go to the movies on Friday? And you maybe in your mind had a different idea of what your Friday would look like. And you're like, I was kind of wanting to go out. Then, you know, you're like, I don't know why. Oh, because this. Oh, well, I might actually see some friends. Like, you know what I mean? There's just like this like dance of like,
I
are
know.
these plans good enough for you?
Here's what it comes down to for me. It's a do unto others as you would
Mm-hmm.
want to have done unto you.
Mhm.
I want to know the plan, so I try to tell them.
Correct.
Yes, you are right, but it's just a little bit easier. It's kind of like when you meet someone at a party and they're like, oh no, we've met.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're like, hey, hi, nice to meet you. No, oh no, we've met. No, just do unto others.
And
Just
tell me where we
just
met.
come correct.
Also,
Just be
by
like,
the way.
we've met.
Yeah.
And if they've met 4 times and they haven't remembered you, say that.
Yeah.
We've met a couple times, but I don't know, maybe it's just in really crazy situation, but we've met before.
Yes.
We've definitely met. My name is Juan. I'm
Yes.
friends with this person. And that person is going to say, wow, I like that person. If you do that after, even if someone's rude a couple times, they will definitely remember you. And if it's just one other time that you met someone and they forgot, don't give all that preamble. Just say, hey, I'm Juan. It's just kind of doing to others, but that's a tangent.
And, you know, I also want to say in these situations where we are meeting new people and we're trying to build connections with humans and animals, I really think people have complimented me on this. I'm like, I think it is kind of crazy that it's not as omnipresent in the social interactions of our life. But if you don't remember someone's name, guys, it's actually very sweet and I guess disarming and nice when you go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Remind me your name again. And it's like you really want to know. And it shows that you're taking effort and you want to care and remembering their name. This whole idea of like, okay, I don't remember his name. And you ask for the intro. Okay, when you say, hey, I'm Joe, be like, what's your name? Like needing the friend to do it for you. No, just own the moment. Just be the person who creates the memory of someone going, that person tried. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, just don't avoid the thing. The effort that you put in will only garner you more reward, in my opinion. You know, that's like a separate thing. So just don't be afraid to like ask for the person's name again and be like, sorry, I need a reminder. And then it becomes cute. And then they see how you try to remember. They're like, oh my God, look at how he tries to remember. That's so cute. He reminds me of, and all of a sudden.
Also, just because you remember me doesn't mean I remember you, bitch.
Oh, well, that too.
I'm sorry to tell you. I am sorry to tell you just because I'm memorable. Ooh. Okay? It's very that. Just because you remember meeting me, you know what I mean? Like, very that. Like,
that?
Yeah, no,
that.
That happened to me recently when I had that like little Discord with someone on Twitter, and they're like, "You've literally been in my house." I'm like, you know how many bitches' house I've been in?
Oh my God.
That I was not invited to. I went with a friend. That's not my fault.
Yeah,
but you remember my presence there, bitch. I don't remember the house.
He was starting shit. That person was red. Like he came at you
but
wanting
it felt like oh yeah, well how do you not remember? I just don't. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe maybe I was a couple drinks deep.
Yeah.
No, now.
Like the whole. I mean, there's plenty of people that have not remembered me over the years, and you can usually tell when someone just genuinely doesn't remember you, and when someone's doing that thing like, "Hi, ka 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 ka," you know, it's like, and sometimes I'm like, no,
I'm not gonna give it to you. What's your
They're
name?
holding. They're correct.
I'm memorable. Or what did Andy Cohen say to one of my friends once? He met Andy like 6 times, and he's like, we've met like 6 times. And Andy says, well, be more memorable.
Work.
Can you imagine? That's so fierce.
That is actually fierce. Because if said correctly, when you're like, well, be more like, you didn't hurt me with the way you said that.
Exactly, because you were trying to come for me, but
correct.
Reverse double axle on your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have any people that you've met many times that you feel like they're holding?
Ooh.
We don't have to name names, but
we don't have to name names, but I'll say
Really?
So I know he's been acting weird around me.
Friend of the pod?
Maybe because you didn't go to the Yeah, exactly.
Maybe. I'm not really sure, but like I noticed, especially this weekend, I was like, like he's holding around me and like not coming to say hi. And the reason I've noticed kind of such a difference is because of how much more glee there was when we were
tall gay men.
Yeah.
Well, gay men love to not say hello. Love to play the game of, well, I'm sorry, she can say hi to me. I am the king of.
I say hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
I love doing this. I love going like dee dee dee. Like I love a
Oh,
wave. Like especially
wave.
if I'm like in the conversation and we
Mhm.
see each other and they're walking in,
Like
it's like
Oprah.
I do the perform of warmth, intense.
Well,
Exactly.
that's on TikTok too. We don't go like this anymore.
Oh, we don't
We don't.
wave. We okay.
Oh, I don't know. Grab. Oh my god, yeah. I do the like hi, and then I just go back here because it's like acknowledging you, but
Yeah.
what's happening here is serious. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The
I could teach a
etiquette of
class on it.
saying hello. This is a great, I think a great topic, especially for summer. How to say hello.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Don't. Yeah.
yeah, or like when people don't say hello and they just touch you. I was talking about this with Austin Wolf yesterday.
Love.
Content creator of the god of the gods. Do you know who Austin Wolf is?
Is he a porn star?
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
great.
great. Okay.
But he was saying, he has this thing where he like when people put their hands on him, and he's like, "We're practicing boundaries today. Hello, hi,
Mm.
how are you? Like say hello." I mean, it's different for him because he's a big presence and like a very like sexual presence on the internet. So I guess people do approach him differently. But I
Yeah, I
will
guess they
say,
feel they have a right to in some way
yeah.
but
Gay men just don't have there's not a class that people teach you on like how to just be around other gay men in settings, like to introduce yourself to, some people are
Huh.
really good at it
But
and some
is
people
it any different from non-gay things?
I feel like straight people don't hold as much as what Ian was saying. Like
Yeah, they don't.
maybe when they're in spaces where they're courting, like men and women are like courting
Yep.
each other,
That's
but
exactly right.
most gay spaces are
Are
that as
courting.
well.
Exactly.
Yes,
yeah.
It's 100% courting. All courting.
constantly
Yeah.
cruising. Yes.
Uh-huh. 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 Uh-huh.
But I think
Yeah.
just saying hi to people, or like when you're walking down the street and like people will pretend they didn't see you, I'm like, mama, if you're a gay man, you're looking around at your
Correct.
surroundings and you saw me. All you have to do is
And it
wave.
ain't for a gun.
All you have to do is wave. Even the head nod, like with a smile, is enough.
Yeah.
Especially with people that you've hooked up with before. I find that particularly
Oh.
insidious. If we just met, I mean, you don't know me, hello. I mean, whatever. I'm always going to say hello because I'm from Miami and
Yeah.
We say
that's what we
hello.
do. We say hello. It's an opportunity for you to smell my amazing perfume. Get close
Ugh.
enough to see how good I smell.
Yeah.
Angel.
And to see my accessories up close. But when it's someone with whom you have had sex, I think you definitely, if someone's been in your house, even if like it's the only time you hooked up, like say hello. I think
Yeah.
it's so goofy that people don't say hello to people when they've
If
hooked
you've
up
been
with
in my
them.
house, well, unless I don't remember.
Well,
Right.
right. Was it crispy?
but I also
Not
think as you get
I can't
older, it is
remember.
harder to remember everyone you've met. I remember being in my 20s and people were like, did that whole like, oh, we've met. And I remember thinking to myself, I actually said it out loud to someone. I was like, I will never be that person that forgets anyone that I meet. Y ahora, whoa. I just can't remember. And it's not because people are not memorable. It's because my brain, she's deteriorated.
It's actually no, I'm gonna stop you there because I knew you were gonna do that. And
Uh-oh.
Ellen Langer, who wrote one of my favorite books that I was reading, Counterclockwise, she is the head of
Yes.
psychology at Harvard, and she's amazingly gifted. And in her book, she talks about this idea that we chalk it up to old age as being the reason for all the things that start to go, like all the ailments, the reasons why you start to lose eyesight or you can't hear. It's just like, well, you're older. And so we chalk it up to that, right?
Oh.
And she goes, but I think it's more nuanced than that. I think if we're being very mindful, it's no, you're not actually getting older. And therefore you're like, my brain is blah, blah, blah. It's because that information isn't useful to you. And she makes a point that as you get older, you start to what does the word siphon mean, Juan?
Siphon off is when you take off, like I'm siphoning off money from the, like if there was a big pot of money, I would slowly siphon funds away from it to something else.
Okay,
Like
so
you you take from one main source to put it somewhere else.
Okay, maybe
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not.
okay.
I don't know why I was like drawn to using that term, but I'm not going to even try to go for an SAT word on this.
Yeah,
Story.
it's supposed to be. I think it's siphoning. Literally, is when you take water as the main source. Like you take like in science experiments. You know, when you like that people will blow into a straw. Like chemists will blow into a straw to take up some of the chemical to like then put it into something else. That's
okay.
siphoning.
Got it.
Mhm.
Thank you. The more you know.
Mhm.
Anyway, she talked about how the reason why maybe she goes, it's like maybe the reason why we're getting memory loss, quote unquote, said by ourselves is because you don't really need to, that information isn't useful. You didn't really have to remember
Oh,
it
I see.
and
I see.
store it because it wasn't important to you. But things that are important to you, things that you know you have to remember because they're being prioritized by you, are you're going to remember more. You know what I mean? You don't have to remember every single person that you meet because your brain knows it's not that important. And as you get older, that's what's really going on, is you're just being more discerning around some of the things you choose to archive. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Just,
Until you,
So you are siphoning memories.
a little bit. It is.
Yeah.
I read that because it's just a new way of thinking about something that actually I think is what's going on. It's not just, she gives another example, which is one of my favorite things, and I'll give it to you right now. She talks about a grandpa who does some yard work for like 8 hours with his granddaughter. Grandpa's like 76. Granddaughter is like 27. They do 8 hours of yard work. They go to bed. They wake up the next morning. Grandpa's like, wow, I'm really sore. That I hurt. The whole family's like, well, you know, you're 76. You got to take it easy. Like it's where you are. It's just your age. If when 27-year-old is like, wow, I'm really, really sore, we would more likely go, oh, well, you did just do 8 hours of yard work yesterday. That's why you're sore. It's that differentiation. It's the way we just kind of categorize getting older as this umbrella for oh well, that's why everything's happening to you. And her whole thing is like, if you change the way you thought about that, you would notice more and be more mindful around the fact that you're not just getting old, you are cultivating a very specific to your life experience, which, does that make sense? You know,
yes, of course. That is, yeah, of course. And you know, an important context for that is I haven't read the book, but from what we talked about, I'm sure that she acknowledges that there are some degenerative physical conditions.
Of course,
that is at play.
You know, that's why I always say we're rotting bananas, because we are, as time goes on, we are actually deteriorating. But what she's basically saying is not all of it is the deterioration that we're experiencing.
Correct. That's all she's saying, is to be mindful.
If you don't remember me at a party, it's because you don't want to, not because you're old, is what
Exactly. And I would say that that's for me too, is because someone gave me this. I actually feel so bad. And I think his name is Cameron, and he's so sweet. And now I remember, and now he's a friend of the pod. And we did this last time where he came up to me and he said hi. And I was like, hi. And he could tell I was like, oh my God. And he goes, Cameron. And I was like, okay, thank you. I'm sorry. And it was really cute. And he could see that I was really like devastated by it because it became too much of a running gag, and I was aware. But his way of saying it, like the way whatever, I think I hugged him like for an extra 5 seconds, and I really did perform the I'm so sorry thing. And
now you're dating.
Could you imagine? But I even said to him, I was like,
did he hold you?
I think he tried to hold me like 20 minutes later. Yes. I gave him a held. Yeah. I gave him a hold, excuse me. Anyway, but that, I remember that interaction happening, and clocking to myself like, Ian, it's okay. You meet a lot of people and you didn't really have to remember his name, but now I have to, because there's a memory that made me feel guilty around not remembering. And it's important to me to make him feel like he matters in some way, and that this experience isn't something I do all the time. Cause that, you know, anyway, so
Social Graces 101.
Truly.
Wait, okay, so this has been a lot of fun, but wait, I would love to talk about something We'll take a quick break and we come back. I want to talk Spotify and Johnny. It's a hard. We're making a hard turn.
It's a hard turn.
But
all right.
We just got it. When we come back, we are going to discuss Johnny Sibley's gift for the Spotify playlist. We're not going to talk about all the playlists today, but we're going to talk about one. We're going to unpack one that you need to get into if you want to have a good rest of 2024.
It's so good.
We'll be right back. What are you drinking, Ian? And we're back. What are you drinking, Ian?
I made a protein shake right after I did a little run before we started, and it's just like a cup of frozen berries, some chocolate protein, a little scoop of yogurt, and I've been using that brand Oat Milk. It's like, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know it. Oh, like the blue and white case?
Yeah. It's like really all white and then like yellowish.
MALK.
Correct. I don't understand.
Because it's not milk, it's milk. Alternative. That's what the A stands for, alternative.
Oh, MALK. Yes,
correct.
That's right.
It doesn't really make sense to me. I did a TikTok on it last year when Andrew Tresca was buying it in his apartment. I was like, oat milk? I was like, wait, what? And he was like, because the A is this. I was like, no. I think I get it, but I don't get it enough. So that to me is actually kind of poor branding. But I really love what they make. And
now I'm working with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'd be happy to use you as an interstitial in this on this episode.
Oh my God, that's right. That'd be a really good collaboration for us.
Oat milk. It's exactly what you want to drink.
Yeah. It makes so much sense.
In this social media life that I live, oat milk helps me stay.
Social media work from home.
Oh my God, guys. Like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? What's my life?
A man about town.
And ask that question to someone who works for any startup or whatever. They're like, I go to the office and like, what am I doing? Well, like
even
I was sending over some spreadsheets and like I sent some emails.
What are we all doing? Except rotating on this fucking earth, just deteriorating.
Correct.
Exactly. The only people on this earth that I know that are doing something are RuPaul and Keke Palmer. That's it. Those are the only two people who are productive members of society. Everyone
and
else
Kim
is just
Kardashian,
cogs
based
in a
on
wheel.
her Hulu show. She can't stop.
Can't stop.
Someone this weekend said that Kim Kardashian's going to be is going for president. Lawyer, they're like, think about it, lawyer. The way she's being involved with
everything.
They're so tangential.
Today
Today
is one fantastic tangent. It is a testament to our ability to converse. People can't really talk like this. This extemporaneously like this. People don't know how to talk.
I know.
Imagine being the ones invited to these said parties on Fire Island. Like, what are literally? I said to a friend of mine this weekend, I was like, "What did you do before me?" I literally turned my head to him, and I saw him kind of like exchange the knowing looks, and we were just having like a fun girly time, just like laughing at what was going on. And I was like, "What did you do before me?" And he was like, "I don't know. I really don't." Like, I love making that joke because. I was like, there's just no one else you're going to be able to really
You know what they did
about.
before you? They had this conversation. Oh, when did you get in? Oh, nice. When are you here till? Oh, where are you staying? Oh, nice. What are you guys doing later today? Oh, okay. We'll be there. Yeah, great. I'm going to go get a drink. And that is the conversation on Fire Island, P-Town, Palm Springs.
Planner's Punch. Oh my God. Is that number 1 or is that number 2? Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
It's
so what is your go-to then for after that? How do you sink into deeper conversation?
Thank you for asking, because it's what happened this weekend. This weekend I went on 2 little rants.
Not to answer for you, but I feel like that's how you connect with people. You go on like rants about something that you're passionate about and hope that it'll elicit the same. Is that right? I think that's what you do. I mean, not to speak for you, but
here's my takeaway with your hot takes is that imagine a dog. You know when a dog bites and then they just don't let go? That is sometimes I've seen hot takes of yours that are like, oh, she's got a hot take. But then, when everyone else is like, well, it is what it is. And then you're like, no, but also it's like, we're still talking
last year, P-Town, Colin Stacktruce, friend of the pod, who is listening, by the way, and loved our last episode. First day I met him. First day. Johnny, you remember this, right?
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, we're
First
at
day
dinner.
happened.
First, so we all get there at the house and we have a dinner. And we sit down, and Colin and I are chatting, and
Colin goes,
oh my God, I really loved The Little Mermaid. And I was like, what? He was like, I really loved The Little Mermaid live action. I was like, oh, why? I never say like that's wrong, but I was like, wait, like what did you love about it? And then he tells me,
Oh my God.
and I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, why? What did you think? And then I told him all the things I thought about it that were just like, I thought the tempos were off. I thought it was really boring and blah, 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 blah. And then I went down the real, like, why do they take Flotsam and Jetsam's lines away? Like, that just seemed like such an arbitrary choice. And then the cat fight of her not going, I went down the whole thing.
List, yeah.
And then we were literally talking about it at dinner. And then we left dinner. And then we were still, and then I felt like, I turned into Ebenezer Scrooge on that. I didn't want to quote Juan, I didn't want to yuck his yum, maybe. But then we're walking down, going to a house, and he tells the group, he's like, no, I'm loving how much you are passionate about wanting it to be good and that it wasn't or whatever. And I agree with you. He's like, now that you've mentioned the thing, I'm like, well, you're right. Why did they do that? And so it ended up becoming why he loves me so much. And it was a primer. I'm joking, but it was a primer for our very honest conversation that we still to this day have. And it's why I love him, because he can come to me being very honest. That's my whole thing, is like, I'm showing, do unto others as you would want to be done unto you, because I like to come in with, this is exactly how I think, this is what I'm thinking about this moment, so that I invite you later on to also be that forward with what it is ever you're thinking. I want people, because I want to have a live conversation like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A live conversation, not a space live. Anyway, but all of that to say that all that to say that.
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have a question. Like, I don't know if it was last week or a couple weeks ago. I can't remember when it was exactly. The days all go together now. But you sent us a text message that you were at a party and there was really bad music. And since we're talking about your opinions, I think you were saying that you were arguing with other people on the dance floor. Tell me, please remind me, because I love your opinions about gay music.
On the dance floor, people were like voicing it before me. They were like, what is happening? They're
what
like,
was wrong?
Erratic.
Did you identify it?
Yeah, well,
like
I can. It was erratic in there was no through line. So one song where you're like, okay, like I could kind of get into this would be what it would be, which is like a Charlie XCX remix in some way. And then it would just completely U-turn, left fork at the road into the woods, but down the prairie, a whole other kind of mood and vibe that you couldn't really ever feel like you were riding a wave. It just felt like it felt like a hurricane or tornado was. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like that kind of.
It just didn't make sense. It wasn't flowing.
Correct. But then also the things, I don't care about flow if the songs are good and if it's still hitting. But it felt like everything was a little like you're trying way too hard. You're making some weird sounds. And everyone was talking about it.
And who was the DJ? Oh, no.
And when was this party?
I am not going to say when the party was.
Was it on Fire Island?
I'm not going to say if it was or it wasn't.
Work.
I'm not going to do that.
Damn. Triple homicide.
I know. I don't know how helpful it is as we're trying to kind of cultivate the world we want to see out in the world. But just know that it's an opinion I have. And some other people also share it. Otherwise,
and just like that.
And just like that.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
We deserve better. It's and no one's talking about it. Everyone's like,
well, they were talking about it.
I know, but then who's telling the people who need to know? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I'm sure that they're
I like to support small business.
Okay, this is but here's the thing, it's not a small business.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Just play the track.
This is what I'm talking about with the hot takes with Ian. It's like, even when I throw a joke in there, she's like, no. No, listen.
I'm on one. It's because I want us to all have a really good time, and I want it to be as efficient and well done as possible.
Well, luckily on this podcast, there are 3 people with good taste in music, all very different taste in music, but really good taste in music. And I wanted to take this time because we're in the middle of Pride Month, and I know that we are engaging in a lot of romantic holding activities. There's a lot of holding, being held, looking for someone to hold, reaching out for someone to hold, hoping for someone to hold me, hold me, touch me. Anyway, so years ago, one of the first things that I really made me just think that Johnny was the bee's knees on a private level, right? You know what I mean? Like really, think that it was something special, is he shared for some reason in our group chat his playlist. Okay. And I love, maybe it was on your Instagram where I found it. No. You shared it directly. I've always loved playlists. When I was like growing, like with Napster and Kazaa, remember when you could download kind of music unlimited for the first time? I was really, and then when iTunes was introduced, I took all that music, and for the first time I was like, oh my God, I can make sense of this in playlists when I had my first iPod.
Oh, you mean like a through line that you would possibly play or gaze at an event like that? You were thinking about that?
Just like that. Yeah. Okay. Except it was more so
Anita Baker.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes. So I've always loved playlists, and so he introduced this playlist. It's a Spotify playlist, and if you need to just go put in Johnny. We're only going to go through one of his playlists today, and it is a playlist for holding or being held, which is a euphemism for mira. Getting it on and getting it in. Okay. Yes. The playlist is called Triple X. You just have to put his name, Johnny Sibilly, into the
search bar.
Into search, and it comes up as a profile. He doesn't have any music there. Like it doesn't. Your song doesn't come up there attributed you as an artist.
Right.
You know that.
Well,
right?
They took it down. Hit it, get it. This is for another time, but they took it down because the DJs that remixed the song did not get permission from the original beat maker. And so they took it down, which I had no idea. No one told me until after the fact. So,
wow. Okay. So this is the playlist for those of you who are watching. And if you're just listening, you will be able to hear it as well. So it's called Triple X. It is the perfect playlist for sex. And sometimes you don't know what you want to play for someone, right? Like, what is a sexual experience going to be like? Should I have like up tempos driving more like EDM, or should I have something very like vibey and yebba-y? And those two feel too extreme to try on someone for the first time. This playlist can be used to hook up with someone who you've been married to for 15 years or someone you have just met online 15 minutes ago.
Right.
Truly.
Right.
And it is, yes. What I love about this playlist is that it has like enough driving so that it feels like you've got something to use for rhythm, but they're not up tempos either. The lyrics are playful and contemplative.
I really can attest that this playlist has helped moments be definitely stored in my mind as memories I will always remember.
Well, it's interesting because the way that it's set up is kind of by design, like the way in which I put the songs in there. Like the first song specifically, like I remember when I first heard the song, I was like, oh my God, this would be such a good makeout song. And so that is usually how these things start when you're like making out with someone. And I usually, like I like to put on something else before someone gets there, and then I'll just like very slyly press play on the new, playlist or whatnot, or put it in the queue. And it just is such a nice soundtrack to having sex, like, because it has the build, it has like the beginning songs feel very foreplay-y, very like soft, and then there is a little bit more EDM where it's a little more robust and a little more physical and a little more energy intense to it. Yeah.
So the first song is called Borderline. And Jordan Rakai, I don't even know. Okay. Rakai. Okay. Yeah. So it's very playful, and I have this timed. So like when someone is off the elevator, I have this playing because it's 4 minutes long. So it's when I know like, okay, and if I met them downstairs, if I met the person downstairs, when I get to my floor, I press play on my phone because you can just Spotify remotely, so that by the time I get in, it's about a minute in. So you'll hear when it starts, where it plays when I'm entering the apartment. Okay.
Hey, what's up?
Fall in love,
Will you stay?
But wait, go to the beginning. Go to the beginning
Okay, I'm going to
chords.
the beginning.
Wait for it.
I'll wait here at the borderline. Always my alibi.
I mean, that is.
You take what I consider mine. Oh, for no reasons.
Right here, this sink in right here.
Exactly.
Right here, right here, right here. Right.
Mistake deceivable in the night. Oh, when the price is right.
We'll go through the first chorus.
Mm-hmm.
Poor taste, lips to the eye, and I thought I was trying to fly. Fall in love, will you stay?
I mean, and these lyrics.
We're making up.
It's like a subliminal. It's a subliminal message to like stay. I'm here at the board. Like, fall in love. I want you to stay. Like, you're hearing this while making out with someone. It feels like like when you're watching a movie and you're like, oh my god, I want. That is what I want when I'm. But keep going. There's baby powder's a good one too.
Okay, so baby powder is. Let's play the first 15 seconds of baby powder. That's a good example because now you've been hooking up for how many minutes? This is 4 minutes, 7,
12, like almost 14.
12 minutes. Okay, exactly. Yeah. And then this starts playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you just imagine kissing someone's body slowly?
I'ma tell you the truth.
It's maybe like a little giggle, like, oh my god, their socks are caught. Oh my god, wait, get your socks.
Right.
Yeah, okay, you got it? Okay. Oh, yeah, that was from, just shut up, just kiss me.
If I ask what you say, wanna be the last girl to be okay. You're making me so high now.
Ooh, you're making me so high.
Everything I'd ever want.
You're keeping me so dry.
You're keeping me dry, which means you're eating.
You're everything I never want.
The reason I pick these songs is because you're not rushing. You're taking your time.
No, exactly.
With someone's body, with someone's lips, with someone's whatever.
Yeah.
And potentially for the first time.
Exactly. Now let's keep going.
Okay. Do you want to go to All Over You?
No. Let's go somewhere a little more in the middle to see.
Wait, we can't just go to the middle because we have to go to my favorite song.
Oh, okay. Let's do
My favorite song on this playlist, the most important song, is 100%.
Ooh, yeah.
By some white woman named Goldilocks. I'm going to put my mic closer to my mouth so you can really hear me and see me. Okay? When this song comes on, baby, it's over. Yeah. I rarely get to track 7. I rarely
Oh my god.
I rarely get to track 7 because this is what happens with track 6. Okay.
Play all of the time.
Wait. Okay, right here. Right here.
You should come to bed, baby. Run on this time. It feels right when you're with me.
This chorus right here, this is what someone's first time is about.
I think I'm falling for you. I think I'm falling for you.
Yes.
I think I'm falling for you. 100%. 100%. Think I'm falling for you.
One more time, Goldie.
I think I'm falling for you. I think I'm falling for you. 100%. 100%.
Now
Yes.
tell me that isn't it, because the
Yes, God.
sentiment of that, you're having sex with someone, maybe it's the first time, and it's I
Mhm.
think I'm falling for you. Like at the end of this, I could say I love you because it's so good.
Right.
To
Right.
me, that is ecstatic. That is
Mm.
ecstatic. Okay, where should we go?
Let's see.
You see, you get a little bit cliche
There's
here,
a
which I like.
yeah,
You get
yeah, a
Pillow
little
Talk,
pillow talk.
Crazy in Love is important because there's songs that we know, but we've hit with these deep cuts, so it's nice to
Ooh.
have something very
But
familiar.
Over Now and into Lose My Cool, that's
Lose
already
My
in
Cool.
the
Yeah.
throes
Yeah.
of it. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, Over Now, Calvin Harris, and The Weeknd.
I don't really care if your tears fall down your face. You know you play the victim every time.
Yes.
I know you getting turns every night.
Gotta wait for it.
Okay. Your girls ain't shit
Music is
trying
so
to get
good.
me off your mind. The same ones who be hitting on my
This is when
line.
you are doing the slow stroke. Here we go.
Friend. I need you to know that
Ooh.
we ain't ever gonna go back. This time it got so bad. It's best for me, it's best for you. I need you to know that. Try to love you, but I force that. All signs we ignore that.
Oh my God.
And it's not the same, cause it's over now.
It's over now, baby.
Oh, yeah.
You're mine.
Curtain.
Over now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Oh my God, that is so good.
Wait, go down a little bit
Okay.
to number 15. I want to see which song is that, because I threw some in there. Yeah, Gorgon City. That was like just a random, and then Robin, Ever Again. I mean that. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
It's
when you know that when this starts playing,
Mhm. Like this is when we're like, if we've been at it if we get to this song, we needed a break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you
Yeah.
stop and you make
this is
out
not
and
for
you
fucking. This is for.
Come on, let's live it out.
Yeah.
This is like water.
This is outdoor shower. Let's go to the outdoor shower for a
Yes.
second. Come back in.
Yes, this is playing throughout, hopefully, the penthouse apartment of whoever you're
Correct.
You're on that Sonos now, that good Sonos.
Wait, go to Nobody really quick.
This is Nobody by Gorgon City.
Ooh. Oof. This is. I'm gonna hold your hand here. I'm gonna hold your hand here.
Yes.
It's that. While you're on, like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, on top of you. Yeah.
This is that after you get home from the club.
Yes.
There's
And you know what? You could start here.
I was gonna say,
start
could.
this here.
correct.
And nobody's
Ooh.
like I do. Nobody's gonna love you.
Mm-hmm. You
Yeah.
see what with these songs, I'm saying you're going to fall in love with me. And if you're not going to fall in love with me after this, you're going to remember this playlist.
For sure.
Correct.
Can I tell you guys? I played this for, gentlemen callers since I've made it. But there's only one person in which I've ever finished this entire playlist. And that was with Phil.
Damn.
Work.
What?
And we didn't even take our clothes off.
Walk me through that.
There was
By the way,
2
for those who are
hours,
asking,
3
2 hours
hours,
and 45 minutes.
45 minutes of kissing.
Work.
And that's when I knew.
Murder, she wrote, bitch.
But it's interesting. So I love that this has 1,500 likes, basically 44 songs, 2 hours and 45 minutes. I need to add some new ones to this, like towards the end, and but this came at a time when I was recently single, and I was like, I need to switch this up. I need to, I have my own place. I want people are coming to me. I want there to be a vibe. I want to create, and it's funny because I remember on Twitter long ago, I asked, if you guys were creating a sex playlist, what would you do? And the songs that I got, I was like, this is crazy. People were like, Katy Perry, da-da-da-da. I'm like, Katy Perry. I love me some Katy, some Catherine.
I love
Catherine. But baby, not for
Love Catherine.
having sex. But yes, I hope that if you're listening, that you give it a gander, and let us know what you think.
It's a really great playlist.
And your last edition was March of this year.
Yes.
It's Adana Duru and Levin Kali. Sorry,
Kali.
man. Levin Kali. Stay in.
Alrighty.
I love strings.
Yes, a slow build.
Take me out, we can stay in it. It's so dance, in the oven.
Love it.
Till the morning, it's so long, baby, I don't know. You light a candle, lay on the floor. Get you how to taste it, make you want.
What's great about this song, all of these songs, is that they could just be on in the background, low. You could always turn it up, and it's not gonna disturb the neighbors. It's not gonna, And I always like sex to feel like it's smooth caramel until it's not. You know what I mean? R&B. There's a lot of R&B in here. There's a lot of like light EDM. Yeah.
It's vibey. It's so inviting. It makes you feel all the things that you want to feel, which is relaxed. You want to feel sexy. You want to feel desired. Like when music that you listen to makes you even feel like, oh, I am desire and I'm ready to be and want and like desire someone,
I want you to feel like you're in the movie of your life. Correct. That's what I want. Yes.
Ugh.
And this playlist certainly does that. It's just I honestly, I really can't celebrate it enough. And there are other
joking.
So there are other playlists.
Yes.
We'll do a series.
If you go, you could the couple that I have here. Crush is when you have a crush on someone and you want that feeling to continue. You play this playlist. Jimmy Jam is when you're at the gym and you really want to feel like a pump, but you also want to dance a little. Sibilly Boogie is good for a pregame if you're having people over and you guys are about to go somewhere. And then Feels is if you're really just sad, you've been through a breakup, or you just want to feel something. It is also for that as well.
I love that.
Yeah. So
I think that creating a playlist for someone is such an intimate, sweet thing. And I love playlists in general. So like the fact that you've made these, you've kind of like given, when you just make a mixtape, you've made like these custom mixtapes for everyone and anyone to just appreciate. You got to be on Spotify. Got to have Spotify. Well, you don't have to have Spotify because you can access playlists for free, but you may get a little commercial over here and there. But
look at the XXX playlist in comparison to how many followers that playlist has versus the other ones. I find that so fierce.
Yeah,
I know.
And it's because it's getting probably recommended. And, as people like it, then when people look up XXX or sex playlist, I bet it's coming up,
And that's my chest right there, just so we're clear.
Ooh.
Say this shit with your chest.
The branding.
And,
it's so well done. It's so good.
Wow, I love it. Hopefully you'll use it for summer when you get home from the what is it called? The Pines Party? No, the
Pines
pavilions
or pavilion. Yeah.
Or you get home from the A House. Or we actually used one of my playlists last year in P-Town. Not that one.
Oh yes,
but we used I think the gym playlist actually for our little
party?
afters.
Yeah. We had people over. We didn't have.
That's a big responsibility.
It was.
I was like, just play my music.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah.
We were listening from like a little boom box. We literally put a boom box in.
Michael Hoffman was.
Yeah. He was like, skip, go to Bottega, New Bottega by whatever, by Azalea. It was really fun. Yeah. And we were just like 7 or 8 people. I remember just like dancing around a boombox because we just were like feeling the music, It was really
the music
fun.
Was being felt.
It was sure.
I mean, to have to get the aux cord and control the music at a party is a big honor. But if you're good at it, wow, you go down in history. That gives you ultimate street cred, I think.
Correct.
It really does.
There's things that like I love hearing in my life, like you are kind, you are smart, you have a good playlist. Whose playlist is this? Mine.
Yeah, you are good at that. Music's important. The
Music is
soundtrack, it's
important.
how you decorate your time.
Oh, I
What
love
did you
that.
say your quote again? I want you to see the. Wait, what did you say, Ian? It cut out. Say it again.
I said it's how he decorates his time.
Yeah.
How music decorates time. I love that. I've never thought of it in that way.
Yeah,
How
like
beautiful.
I think there's a way you can, yeah, anyway, that's it.
And like this podcast is decorating some people's time.
It is.
We hope it has. We hope it has decorated your time.
It
Have
has.
a lovely afternoon or morning wherever you've listened.
Let us know how you feel about the pod. Subscribe, like, rate. It really does help us. And on our Tres Leches Instagram, when we see your messages, it's so
Nice.
amazing. And we really do feel that love. And it helps us also just kind of gauge whether or not we're doing a good job. Because at the end of the day, we are here for us, but we're here for you, you know?
Mhm.
So it only helps us be able to keep making this as entertaining and thought-provoking as possible.
Indeed. We love you so much. Couldn't have said it better myself.
You're rubbing off on me.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. We will see you next week. Besitos. Bye. Mwah. Qué rico.